Just stop. Yeah. Here's something for Facebook advertisers to stop doing. If you're advertising on Facebook, you probably care way too much about cost per clicks, and you don't even know what that is. Cost per click to Facebook means literally anything. They click on the like button, that's considered a click. They click on the comment area to see more comments, that's a click. They click on one of the filters to filter comments, that's also a click. It doesn't mean a click to your website like you think that it should. What's more useful for you is to just forget about cost per click altogether. And instead, on your website, let's say there is a page where people can get a demo or check the pricing or see your work, for example. These pages are much more valuable for you to track instead of the cost per click. So make sure to set your metrics up so that way you're tracking how much it costs to get a visitor to go to your pricing page, your About Us page, your Our Works page, whatever that may be. Those are far better metrics. Another ad practice people got to stop doing is running 50 ads on one audience. Unbeknownst to you, Facebook does not like that. And what they're going to do is actually, you'll get a warning at some point that this audience is fully saturated. You got to stop. Start early, come up with a dozen audience or so, or just experiment with a lot of different audiences and run your ads on a diverse set of audience rather than just leveraging on just one. Here's another mistake. Let's say you are servicing just this particular area, or you assume that your customers only come from the United States. Right? How certain are you that that assumption is true? Something that we see to great effect is when brands starts to diversify their location and start to advertise in other countries, other regions that they don't normally think their customers are actually at. So give that a try. Let's say you sell, let's say you sell wedding dresses, right? And you believe that your customers are only in this particular city. Well, how do you know? How do you know they're not willing to drive 2 hours to you? Try expanding the location or advertising in other cities, and you might be surprised at the results.
Couldn't agree more. We've found in some of our campaigns, Google Ads campaigns, that some of our conversions were very cheap in Malaysia. So, you wouldn't outwardly assume that Malaysia is going to convert better than Brazil or whatever random geographic area, but it did. So what does that mean for a good marketer? Put more money into Malaysia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. Here's another mistake that you're making, which is not optimizing your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and all your other social media pages. Because here's the thing, right? Imagine this. You're advertising to that person. What do you think they're going to do right after they saw your ad and they express interest? They're going to check out your Facebook page. God forbid you don't have things in order. You don't have your profile picture set up. There's no cover photo. Your last post is from 3 years ago. That doesn't look good, right? So make sure all your social media profiles, your website, and everything is organized and up to date, because that could lose you a potential customer.
All right. What are some Facebook ads trends that are no longer trending?
Still images. Still images are simply not as effective as they used to be. And also, the two things that I find surprising that stopped working are high production video ads. That can work if you have a substantial budget to retarget just everybody disregarding their interests whatsoever, and you're just trying to reach as many people as possible. But if you're on a budget or you're looking for conversions, that's just terrible. Another one is user-generated content. So you know those videos where somebody opens a box and they're testing out a product? Listen, we all know it's fake, right? So if you're a brand that's still relying on user-generated clips and content for your marketing, it's time to move on. Something that is working very well that people are not doing as much is actually having more face, like showing that you care, showing that you're authentic. And the best way to show your audience that you're who you are, who you claim to be, is showing your face. So brands got to stop hiding behind actors or just graphics, right? Show your face, show who you are. And those content are currently doing much better than highly professional videos and paid user-generated content.
So the brand messaging needs to come from within, and it should be authentic, and it shouldn't feel overly polished, is what you're saying?
Correct.
And you also think that the people within the company should get a little bit out into the spotlight to promote their company or show that their company has a face?
Yes, exactly. Brands where the founders or the stakeholders show themselves typically resonates better, especially to the younger audience.
The CEO of Penji, everyone, Kai.
That's right. Hello. Yes, this got living and breathing this line right here.
Couldn't be more accurate.
All right, Ryan. Let's talk about some outdated advertising practices.
There's quite a list. Off the top of my head, one major outdated practice, any kind of marketing that you're doing where you can't track an ROI, what are you doing? You know, unless you have a huge budget where you're afforded the opportunity to put up billboards, once again, you can track billboards through phone tracking, but it starts getting obscure with direct mail. These are things that I wouldn't say are outdated, but you have to have a really good plan in place to track these things. Another thing that's outdated, and we're seeing companies do it more and more, is trying to find new markets, especially these ancient companies are trying to find younger generations. You know, their normal customer is the baby boomer, you know, the person who's going to be retiring soon. And they need to...
that actually reminds me of Budweiser and the recent controversy. So do you feel like Budweiser, I think that's something that a lot of us have already heard about. Of course, they have a interesting advertising campaign where they were attempting to go after a new target audience. Like, what do you think of that?
I think it makes sense to seek out other markets. They currently, with the market that they were trying to get, which is, you know, kind of Gen Z, you know, kids who are currently in high school and college, they're trying to capture that demographic more strongly. And without looking at the data, I'm fairly certain that that's not who spends the majority of their money, where they get the majority of their revenue from. So on paper, 100% agree with what they did, what the marketing team did.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if your customer is...
I don't think I agree with that, because if you are a company that has been failing, for example, or your target demographic honestly is dying off, then it makes sense for you to seek out a new audience. But in the case of Bud Light, their target demographic really has been the same. Like it's not really changing. So there wasn't a strong need for them to pivot and target a new audience, which is just unknown territory for them. Case in point, look at Nike. Nike can absolutely make leather jackets, can't they? Of course they can, right? Nike can do anything. Honestly, they can make a phone if they really wanted to. They can target all kinds of audiences, but they don't. They stick to the audience that has brought them their success, which are mostly athletes or those who are athletically inclined. Nike does not want to make dress shoes. They can, but they don't want to, because they want to stay loyal to their core audience.
So companies that sell products, how they expand more products. It's as simple as that. We saw it with Ridge Wallet. So Ridge Wallet originally, I'm sure most viewers have seen carbon fiber wallets, very small, minimal. That's how they started off. This is a 9-figure e-commerce business, and they now sell backpacks. They now sell watches. They've expanded. So I think brands need to constantly be looking for these opportunities.
Let me interject you. I think you're right. For Ridge Wallet, they expanded their offerings, but they stayed true to the audience. They simply made more products that their core audience actually want and need. I actually use a backpack. This is not a promotion, but my backpack is from Peak Design. They make a really good backpack, and they only make backpacks when I first bought the first product. But over the years, they made other products that I actually want. So they, in fact, stayed loyal to me as a customer. Meanwhile, I feel like with Bud Light, not Bud Light, Budweiser, they didn't stay true to their audience. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. When a brand has a loyal audience that has brought them their current success, it's their obligation to stay loyal to those people. Now, if they want to target a new demographic, I think that's good. I don't think that's wrong or anything. Victoria's Secret, okay? Victoria's Secret came out with a new line called Airy or something like that. Now, Victoria's Secret, we all know what they course, sell, but they absolutely do not sell to teens, as far as I know. So for them to all of a sudden have a line for teenage girls could be hit or miss. And so they came out with a new line. I could be wrong because I'm not sure if Aerie's owned by Victoria's Secret. Is it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So they came out with a new brand to target this new demographic. So it's a new brand, new product altogether that's a bit safer and shields the original company or the original product. I think that's a better approach.
Look, Kai, I can't disagree with what you said. One thing, every at-bat's not going to be a home run. So you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, and you got to constantly be testing new products, new advertising methods. And sometimes you're going to strike out. Sometimes you're going to hit a grand slam.